So I'm Bethany Barrett. I'm a professor of political science and director of the Loundy Human Rights Project. And I wanted to just welcome you guys briefly to the inaugural event in what's become a much anticipated tradition. This is the third annual Loundy Human Rights Distinguished Speaker Series on wrongful conviction. We are extremely proud to open the series with Karen Daniel and Nicole, two women whose strength, resilience, and wisdom are nothing short of amazing. Before they are introduced more fully by Professor Berkowitz, I must thank a couple of people who were instrumental in bringing us together this evening. First and foremost, Joe Loundy, who I don't think is here yet. Joe is the founder of the Loundy Human Rights Project and an alumnus of Roosevelt University and the University of Chicago School of Social Service Administration. Joe's a legend among many people in Chicago because there are few Chicago social justice challenges that Joe hasn't affected for the better. He's one of the founders of the Center on Halstead, former president of the SSRA Alumni Board, and current president of the Roosevelt College of Arts and Sciences Advisory Board. He's also president of the Chicago Art Deco Society and major supporter of Southeast Asian arts and culture in the city. So he is extremely involved in a lot of really wonderful work. The Loundy Human Rights Project is a program that's unique in its opportunities for undergrads to engage in international human rights research with a policy focus. So we rotate among several interrelated social justice issues, and through the program, we study the sources for the past couple of years. It's been sources of wrongful conviction and miscarriages of justice, working towards fruitful areas of reform. And we do this through interaction with leaders in the field, including people from around the country and here in Chicago, such as John Conroy, who's with us this evening. And we also then go abroad to meet with analogous experts and activists in a foreign city. So we've gone to London the last 3 years with the project. And we built partnerships then with those allies overseas. I want to also thank Dean Bonnie Benson-Hauser, Dean Julie Rowan, and Associate Dean Mike Ensworth of the College of Arts and Sciences, the Department of Psychology, Laura Janata in Public Relations, and most importantly, Sherry Berkowitz, who is going to now introduce our speakers. Sherry is an assistant professor of psychology and a memory expert who works on wrongful convictions and consults extensively in the field, and is just a wonderful colleague, has led the trip to London with me, and really the series could absolutely not happen without her, especially this year when I've had a lot of things going on, and she was really just taking care of almost everything for me. So I really appreciate that. And thanks again to all of you guys for coming. There are going to be 4 more events in the series, so keep your eyes open for notifications about those. The next one will be October 16th. And so that'll be same time, same place, and we'll be sending out more information about that as it approaches. And there's more information on the Loundy Project website. So without further ado, I have a motion please over to Sherry. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Bethany, for that kind introduction. And now it's my honor to introduce our speakers tonight. And before I begin, I just want to quickly add, I know a number of you have class at 6 o'clock that we need to run off to. So our speakers will understand that you're not upset with their talk in any way, and you have to get to class. And if you could try and do so as quietly as possible so as not to interrupt our speakers, that would be much appreciated. And now, with that said, on to the introductions of our special speakers this evening. It's truly an honor and a pleasure to have both of our speakers with us today. First speaking will be Karen Daniel, who is the co-director of the esteemed Center on Wrongful Convictions at Northwestern University School of Law. Since Ms. Daniel began at Northwestern in the fall of 2000, she has successfully represented numerous wrongfully convicted clients in state and federal court proceedings and before the Governor's Clemency Board, achieving exonerations in both DNA and non-DNA cases. In 2012, just last year, Ms. Daniel co-founded the Women's Project of the Center on Wrongful Convictions, which is the only innocence project in the country dedicated to helping women who have been wrongfully convicted. And if you guys will come back in, you can just close the door behind you. There's space over here to sit down. Now, in addition to Ms. Daniel's incredible legal work, she also serves as a clinical professor of law at Northwestern and teaches a clinical practice course on wrongful convictions to both second and third year law students. And I happen to know a few of those students, and I know that she is a wonderful teacher and mentor. I hear from so many of them. Prior to joining Northwestern, Ms. Daniel received her law degree at Harvard Law School, and she had a distinguished career at the Illinois Office of the State Appellate Defender, where she represented hundreds of convicted defendants on appeal and supervised other staff attorneys. As you can hear, it's evident from Ms. Daniel's numerous victories that she's truly a rock star attorney. In fact, Stephen Drizzen, Assistant Dean of the Northwestern Bloom Legal Clinic, recently described Ms. Daniel as one of the finest post-conviction and appellate attorneys in the country, often finding creative ways to win for her innocent clients where others before them have failed. And as a quick personal note, although I've only recently gotten to know Ms. Daniel, I can attest to not only is she a rock star attorney, but she's also a very delightful and kind person as well. And I also want to add and briefly introduce our special guest, Nicole Harris. After she graduated from Southern Illinois University at Edwardsville in 2004, like many of you, with a Bachelor's of Science in Psychology, Nicole's life took another turn when she was wrongfully accused, tried, and convicted of murder at the age of 23. After 8 long years, Nicole was officially exonerated just this year on June 17th. And while I could easily tell you more about her story, I know you do not want to hear from me, and I will stop speaking so that I can turn things over to our speakers. But let me tell you how special it is for us that we have Nicole here tonight. It's her first time ever speaking about her experience publicly to an audience, and so we are just so thrilled that you are here at Roosevelt and giving us this honor. And I thank you both, I know how busy you both are, for being with us tonight. And if everyone will help me give them a very warm welcome.
For that absolutely lovely introduction, and thank you, Bethany. I just want to thank Roosevelt University for having this amazing series on wrongful convictions. I know this is the 3rd year. I've looked at the speakers that have come before me and will be coming after me, and I'm quite honored to be in such company. And I think it's just so important that attention is focused on these issues. And actually, I want to thank you all for being here as well, to take time out of your busy schedules and learn more about this topic. And I'm curious to know who my audience is, so I'm going to ask how many of you are students either in an undergraduate or a graduate program studying criminal justice? I can see a show of hands. Not so many. Well, how many of you are just undergraduate students studying whatever you're studying? There you go. Okay. Well, that's thank you, and that's even better because wrongful convictions happen for a lot of reasons. But one reason they happen is simply because people aren't paying attention and they aren't educated on the issues that they need to be educated on to be good citizens. I like to point out that perhaps the most awesome power that our government has over individuals is the power to snatch a person from their daily life, put them behind bars, and keep them there as long as the government sees fit, and there's nothing that the person can do about it. When the government does this, it does it in the name of all of us. Here in Illinois, prosecutors prosecute under the name of the people of the state of Illinois, and that's all of us. And so it's incumbent on us to keep watch over what the government does in our name, and to make sure that this incredible power the government has over individuals is exercised responsibly and accurately. And the way we can do that is to know the issues, is to keep an eye on our elected officials, our elected prosecutors. In Illinois, we have elected judges, our legislators who write the laws that stand behind criminal prosecutions, to be educated jurors, and to be educated if we're witnesses in cases, and even if we're crime victims, to understand what the limitations of the system are and to be properly skeptical. So that's my little spiel about why these issues are important. Today, I think I'm going to talk about this. Today, I'm talking about the Women's Project at the Center on Wrongful Convictions, where I work. So the slide has a few little facts about the center, but I'm going to focus on our Women's Project that was launched last November. And excuse me, I may occasionally, as I talk about my work, lapse into the abbreviation CWC for Center on Wrongful Convictions. That's a quicker way to reference my center. I've been there, as Jerry said, for 13 years. I worked on men's cases and women's cases.